Hi everybody, my name's Wayne and I'm one of the Woodfordia tree huggers. I've been hugging trees up here for about 18 years, and a lot of the inspirations for my poems come as a result of walking around on this site. Now, tree huggers come in all different shapes and sizes and different proclivities, and I happen to be a tree hugger that loves the smell of two-stroke and the roar of a diesel engine. So we used to have an old Massey Ferguson tractor on site, and it wasn't the best tractor. And about 4 or 5 years ago, we were presented with a new Kubota. And for anybody that's driven machinery, well, I got terribly excited. So that's where this poem comes from, and it's called The Beast. Get up on the tractor, he said, and show us what you can do. There's lots of slashing to be done from here to the outer Baku, so up I climbed onto the beast, and the key I did then turn. With a mighty roar it came to life, and my stomach began to churn. You'll work it out as you go along, he said with a great big smile. I fueled her up and checked the blades. She'll go for 1,000,000 miles. So off I sat upon the beast of whirring, twisting blades, with earplugs in and sunscreen on and, well, wearing Ray-Ban shades. At first all went well as I sailed across the sea of grass. Behind me a lawn revealed, and I wasn't going fast. Then I heard the voice of the beast upon which I rode. You can go a little faster, surely, and that's what led to this ode. The beast it roared, my foot went down as we raced across the green sea. In my mind the beast it sang, it's okay to hit the odd tree, and that we did from time to time as we, and so the trees did fall. At first it was the odd one, then a few, then them all. My blood it had become diesel, my flesh I could not feel, my legs were rubber tires, my teeth were blades of steel. A hunger was upon me to feed on trees and grass. The beast and I were one now, my mind was overcast. The sun it raced across the sky as we slashed to the outer Baku. Grass and trees and living things all fell to the blades of we two. Then the sun was setting. Behind me acres of manicured lawn. Not a tree in sight, not a creature stirred. Oh God, we start again at dawn. In my fading mind, my words I still did hear. She'll go 1,000,000 miles, there's nothing for you to fear. They found me 2 weeks later on the edge of a massive lawn. Strangely, the slash is still going and the engine barely warm. The official report was marked unsold. 300 acres of forest and wildlife, all told, converted to lawn. A sea of green grass, the tractor like new, to which the driver did clasp. So if I'm not driving the tractor, they let me loose on a brush cutter. And we've got 500 acres here, so if you feel like coming up once a month, we have a tree hugger group that meets on the last full weekend of the month, and we sit around the fire on a Saturday night, play guitar, recite poetry. So as I'm going out with the brush cutter, somebody said to me, watch out, there's a big roo outside. And so we've got lots of wallabies on site. I don't think I've ever seen a big roo, but I got out there and there was a big roo. And that's where this poem came from. A bloody big roo, and what you should not do. While brush cutting out in the outer Baku, I happened upon a bloody big roo. 6'10" of aggressive disposition. He was not impressed with the noise I was making. He hopped and bounded over to me. And shit, I was wrong. He was 8'3". As he looked down at me with fur all a bristle, I thought to myself, I'm about to be hit by a kangaroo missile. He gestured to me to turn the machine off, and then in a deep bass voice he told me to piss off. Well, understandably I was shocked. My brain felt as if it had been hit by a rock. Sorry, I said, I didn't mean to offend. I'm just clearing this long grass with the straggly ends. In another 20 minutes I'll have finished here. He stood there silently watching me with a twitching left ear. I've got to finish this area before I go home, and then you'll have peace and quiet, and you'll be all alone. Surely you can see how much better it will be as a result of my brush cutting hyper-frenzy. Well, I'm not sure what happened. It's all a blur of kangaroo tails, claws and bristling fur. When I awoke, 2 2 weeks later in hospital I was, surrounded by doctors and nurses because kangaroos can't talk, they kept telling me. Neither do they grow to 8'3". They assured me that in time I'd fully recover, and the cause of my injuries, they said they'd be able to discover. They reckoned I'd fallen with the brush cutter on, and the cutting and the tearing and the chopping was prolonged, when finally found I was a gibbering mess. A medical emergency. They'd sent an SOS, but it was noted by those who'd come searching for me that there was a large mobberoos in the vicinity. Among them there was a large male, but it wasn't 8'3". The incident had obviously affected my sanity. So if you're out in the outer Barcoo and suddenly beside you is a bloody big roo and you've been making a racket, some noise, some din, perhaps I'll see you next in the hospital. I'm still in. So it's not all hard work when we're up here tree hugging. Sometimes after I've mowed the grass, and maybe knock down the odd tree or two, I get to go up onto the ceremonial hill and I'll take my flute and my didge up there and I watch the sunset. Well, one night I'm up there after I'd mowed the hill, and it was a rather wonderful expanse of green lawn. I noticed that there was 1 or 2 magpies around me, and other ones kept appearing, and in the end I counted 23, and it was pretty freaky to find 23 magpies just staring at me. And that's where this poem comes from, 23 magpies. I took my flute up onto the ceremonial hill to play a song or two as the day became still. As I started to play, a magpie appeared, and then another, and another its head it did rear. At first it was fun as they gathered around me, but they kept on coming until there were 23. 23 sets of dark, staring eyes. 23 black and white, silent magpies. Each time I stopped, they took a step towards me. They looked hungry, these magpies. All 23. Grasshoppers and moss jumped all around them. Not a thing did they eat. All was silent until when 23 magpies started to sing. 23 magpies around me, a black and white ring. 23 magpies getting closer with each song. 23 magpies, something felt wrong. I started to rise from the seat I was on. I thought to myself, well, it's time to be getting along. But something had happened. My legs would not work. My arms hung beside me and my body had hurt. Down to the ground I fell with a thud. Unable to move, the magpies wanted blood. 23 magpies descended on me. Hungry they were, all 23. They sang and they danced as they feasted on me, pecking and biting for an eternity. Well, this is the end, I thought to myself. I'm a magpie feast. Well, they'll eat me in good health. I awoke with a start. Something was wrong. That's small, I felt, and I wanted to sing a song. So I opened my beak, and out came a magpie tune. I was small, feathered, black and white, and I did tune a swoon. Now on the hill, we are 24. Hungry, hungry magpie, so you I do implore, please come and visit me upon this hill, our home. We'll have you over for dinner. Then you'll never be alone.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, one more time for Wayne. What a beautiful timbre his voice had. Or as a tree hugger that likes machinery a bit.